Hi, this is Dr. Jenny, and we're working on Unit 3, and this is another video on some of the textbook problems. We are actually going to be working on 11-20 today and learning about how to apply the discounted payback period. Just to remind you what the payback period even means, I've brought over from the textbook the criterion, and we see here we have both the payback method and the discounted payback. So payback is just an easy way for a manager to say, if I spend $100,000 today and I get $50,000 return in the next 2 years, I'm going to have a payback within 2 years of that initial investment. It's probably the easiest to understand and calculate, but it doesn't take into account any kind of risk. The discounted payback, essentially what it does is it returns our cash flows into a discounted present value number, and essentially the discounted payback will always be a larger number of years than the regular payback amount. Let's look at first the payback method, and then we'll calculate the discounted payback. So going back over to this problem, all I've done here is just type in the numbers that we have in the actual problem, and then I set it up that so you could see this. Here's our cumulative payback. In the first year, 90,000 comes in, so that reduces our payback number down to 60 million. And then in year 2 we have 70 million come in, and you'll notice that where we've now actually paid back that initial cash outlay. And because we have an amount of money left here, then that tells me that we have essentially paid it back before the end of the year. Now if this were 60,000, let me go ahead and calculate that for you. If we did that, we would see that we have no number right here, but we know that it is 70 million that came in. So, I have to add another 0. Yeah, I think I got it. 70 million that came in. So we know that it is less than the 2 years. And so specifically what I've done down here is just show you how to calculate this. We know 1 year it wasn't paid back. It's paid back before the end of year 2. And what we do to calculate the amount is we just take the amount left over from the previous year and divide it by the amount of projected cash flow that we're going to make in that second year. And it gives us a fraction, and then we just add that fraction to however many years we had, which was 1. So in the regular payback, this took 1.86 years to pay back that initial cash outlay. Now if we do the discounted payback, first of all we have to have a discount rate, which they gave us of 12%. And so what we're doing is that we are taking the present value using 12%. We're going over here and picking up the B20 the B20 number. That tells us the period number, and then there's no payment, so we skip that aspect of it, and essentially we are able then to put in the 90,000 that comes in as that future value. So that gives us a discounted cash flow then. So first of all, we just calculate these discounted cash flows. Notice this one is using period 2, this one's using period 3. So that's basically all we're doing there, is just calculating those amounts. Then what we're doing here with our cumulative amount is that we're just again subtracting that discounted cash flow from that cumulative amount, so that we will see when does this turn positive. And what happens, we know it happens between years 2 and 3. And then to actually calculate that, if you'll notice here in U2, we do not have as much left. We only have 13 million left to pay back. So if we're making 64 million in year 3, we know it's going to be less than a third of that year that we need to actually pay back that cumulative amount. So again, it's the same thing. You're going to calculate, you're going to take the cumulative payback and divide it by the total amount that comes in. And you'll notice I didn't use a negative number. I actually just typed that number in because we don't want a negative thing here. We just want to know what percentage of that year did it take. And then we just add it to the last year, whole year we had. So we know that in using the discounted payback, using 12%, we have, it takes us 2.22 years, or 2.2 years to actually pay that back. And now, just so you know, the discounted payback does take in the time value of money, but not much else. It is more acceptable, but still your best bet for these kinds of things is to determine the net present value and the internal rate of return. Those are really the things that are going to help. But managers use this tool, so it's a tool that you need to know and be able to use. So I hopefully that helped you understand how to do both payback and the discounted payback method. And I will be talking to you soon.